Hello everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to my garage. In the last video on the mill, I said at the end that I would be working on this piece of aluminium to make a thing for a friend. Well, that thing happens to be a replacement hinge post, or two actually, for a friend of mine's toilet seat. Now, what I'm trying to make when I'm done, hopefully, will be that. Now, there's some interesting operations to do on this. I think the hardest bit for me, though, personally, that's going to be, will be then making this square hole nice and square without any form of rotor broach or anything like that for it. So, luckily, my mate is a designer by trade, so he was able to create a CAD model for me to follow. So I was able then to convert that to some plans so that I can actually follow it, which is much easier with for following plans than it is just trying to go off a 3D CAD model, for instance. So, thanks to me now doing that bit on the mill for the Myford, I've now been able to get the Myford all up and running. I haven't got the quick change tool post for it yet, but I can still use it as it was originally now because I can use bigger tooling in it anyway, because I've been able to cut the height down of the actual compound slide. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to put the 4-jaw chuck on so I can get this running nice and true, because I already started doing some work on it. And I'll get this indicated and we'll see where we go from there. I'll take you back over to the lathe once I've got the chuck on. Alright guys, I thought I'd bring you back for actually putting the chuck on, because I don't know how many of you have used or even come across a Myford ML10 before, or a lathe that has a threaded spindle nose. I know the more popular spindle noses, especially these days, is using the like cam lock pins, but I don't use a lathe that has those. I use the traditional style threaded spindle nose. Let's just make sure that all nice and clean. Don't want anything mucking up the part, do we? And that should just nicely screw on there. Should locate nicely. And that should engage like that rather nicely. Okay, in terms of speed, on its highest speed currently, that should be fine speed-wise. Smashing. That's lovely. Let's make sure that's disengaged. Right, before I do anything else, let's just engage that. Let's make sure that's tight, which it is. Actually, let's put that back on. And let's plug her in, and we'll get some, make sure she spins correctly. Make sure nothing goes wrong. There's nothing more embarrassing, guys, than doing stuff and then you're filming it, you turn it on and nothing happens. Or you get your work all set up in the chuck, all indicated nicely, and then you go and turn it on and it doesn't spin and you're thinking, bugger. So let's see if she runs. She does. However, I think that's a bit fast for what I want, so I'm just going to slow her down a bit. I'm going to put her on the middle speed. That belt's a bit tight as well, guys. Let me grab my spanner. Let's just loosen that belt position off a bit. Don't know why that belt position's so tight. Be a little bit of play in it, just like that. Beautiful. There we go. It's much better tightness. Right. Let's give that a spin, see if that's any better. That's more like it. Right, let's get the piece that I need, and let's got the piece here. Get my ruler out. Let's give it a measure. You can see roughly how big I need to open these jaws out to. And I'm going to need let's call that 55 millimeters. So let's what I'll do is I'll open these out now, and I'll chuck this in there like that, and then once I've got it in, I will bring you back when I start the machining. Right guys, got her in, got her in nice and true now. Just put a centre in, just a live centre just to support this end because it's still quite a long piece. First thing I'm going to do is just take this down. Actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this all down, and then I'm going to start just taking a little bit more off the diameter here. Hopefully this works just fine. We'll give it a shot and find out, shall we? There's my 0. Let's give it 2 thou pass. Let's see what happens. That's not bad. Let's give her a bit more aggressive, shall we? Let's try a 5 thou here. Let's see what happens. Gotta love the swarf, guys, isn't it? That seemed to work okay. Let's try a little deeper again. Let's try a 10 thou. See how he handled it. Well, she seems to be doing alright, guys. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to trundle on through, and I'll do a bit of a time lapse now just so you can see the progress of it. Well guys, I've turned it down a fair way now. Next operation I need to do though is measure the total length that I need for this first post, and then part it off. Oh, excuse me. So I can then flip it round in the chuck and face the back end off. So once that's then nice and true to the spindle line, I can then slam that back into the chuck. And then once I've got it in there, then I can bring this post down to its final dimension then. So what I'll do is I'll swap this tool out, put the parting blade in, and then I'll bring you back when I start the parting off. Right, I've blued up the surface. I need to part it off at 40mm. That should give me enough space to get it what I need. So let me grab my scribe. Oh, actually I'll just use my calipers. It makes more sense. Let's set this to 40. Lock that off. Let's bring this centre back in. There we go. That should be 40 now. I know you're not supposed to use calipers like that, guys, but I mean, come on. There's no really elegant way of doing it, and the ends of those are already rounded when I bought them secondhand anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. It was a bargain for those calipers. Anyway, what I'm going to do is bring this in. Let's get this lined up with the edge of my mark. Let's see where I'm at. There we go. That should be perfect now for parting off. Right. I'll lock the bed there. Let's give her a whirl, shall we, guys? See how much chatter I get. Answer would be a lot. Let's slow that down. Nope. She still doesn't like that, guys. This could be a big problem. I'm unsure as to how to solve this issue. Just give me a minute. I'll bring you back when I've thought of what to do. Right, I've reduced the stick out on the parting blade. This may mean that I need to finish it with a hacksaw afterwards, but at least I'll have most of it to the right point. Right, let's give it a go this time. Let's try some cutting oil. Get some cutting fluid on that. I do not like the way that handles, guys. It is chattering like crazy, and that's with end support. I am unsure as to what's causing that amount of rattle. Much confusion. Let me have a think about this, guys, and I'll bring you back. Well, guys, I think we'll have to call this one there. Sadly, doesn't look like I've got the tooling that I need to be able to part that off. I think it's just a case of this tool is just too small for what I need. It just hasn't got the mass behind it, and this blade's just too bouncy, although I don't feel it in any way, shape or form. Either that or this lathe just isn't rigid enough to do it. Got a feeling that it's probably that the lathe isn't rigid enough. That's annoying. Well, guys, in that case then, I think I'm going to have to leave it there for tonight. I will bring you back with some more progress when I've got some myself. Because as of right now, I don't have a clue how to proceed. I have got some friends in the know. I'll ask them, see what they think about my little problem that I've got here. It's a real shame because the lathe was doing the turning here just fine, as you could see. Sadly though, I just haven't got the right sort of tooling to part it off. What I think I might do is A mate of mine's got a bandsaw. I might just cut some of these blanks out on a bandsaw and bring them back, and then I'll bring you back with another video next time when I finish the turning stage. Alright guys, well thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Like I said, hopefully next time will be me finishing off that part, but until then, everybody stay safe, have a good night, cheerio.